What was the reason that you wanted to write this book and share it at this point?
Really, I did it because it was the right thing to do. You know, all things considered. You know, the interests of Aletta Wallace and Afeni Shakur, the interests of their families, the interests of their fans, and the public, you know, as a whole. Their interests trump the interests of those who don't want the story told. And it just was the right thing to do. I felt ethically convicted to share the information because I know that those cases in their current status are never going to go forward. They're shelved, and the world's never going to know what we developed and what we discovered in the investigation. So if I don't tell the story, no one will, and therefore nobody knows.
And what do you hope the ultimate result will be of sharing your story?
Well, mainly, I mean, I would like to just vindicate the people who have been living under that cloud or stigma of being falsely accused of being involved in these things, for one. And, you know, to hold other people accountable for the things they did or didn't do that they need to hold themselves accountable for. Like for the LAPD, this is going to be kind of a bittersweet thing because, one, I think that we're going to clear up that public misperception that the LAPD was involved in the murders or that it was involved in a cover-up, which I know it wasn't the case.
Yeah.
So that's good to kind of, you know, to vindicate them on that public misconception. But at the same time, they need to hold themselves accountable for the negligence and the maybe incompetence of which precluded us from solving the cases. So that's just something I'll have to deal with.
And so how do you think that they will respond?
I don't know. With the LAPD, hopefully, they'll live by their own standard, and that's to be transparent and hold themselves accountable and say, hey, this is an area where maybe we did fall short, and maybe we do need to make a public recognition of that. I worked for 5 different police chiefs while I was there. I could say that of those 5, the current police chief, Charlie Beck, is the most likely to do that. And whether or not the politics of Los Angeles will allow him to do that is yet to be seen. But I've sat down with Aletta Wallace, who I find to be a very gracious lady, and this whole thing about holding people accountable, this is not a money thing, I don't think. In my opinion, she just wants everybody to, take responsibility for what they did or didn't do. And I think we owe her an apology, because we were negligent in the investigation in several areas, investigatively and administratively. And she deserves an apology. And why not give it to her? And I think maybe then we can let the investigation rest in peace.
And the book will hopefully do some of that.
Yeah, and at the very least, it's a win-win for me, because the book is going to tell the story as we know it right now. And maybe it'll prompt further inquiry. Maybe other people will feel at this time, maybe I can now step up and share my story that will either complement it or refute it. But it's a win-win no matter what, because it takes us forward.